All right, let's get right to it. Can caffeine actually stunt your growth? This is one of those classic myths you probably heard from your parents, or maybe even your school nurse. But is there any truth to it, or is it just another tall tale? So here's the deal. The myth that caffeine stunts your growth has been floating around for decades. It's usually aimed at kids and teenagers. And honestly, it's pretty effective at scaring them away from coffee. But where did it actually come from? Well, some early studies suggested that caffeine might mess with how your body absorbs calcium, which is super important for building strong bones. The thinking was, less calcium equals weaker bones, and that could mean less growth. But let's look at the facts. More recent research says that, for most people, moderate caffeine intake doesn't have a big impact on calcium absorption. In fact, if you're getting enough calcium in your diet, think milk, cheese, leafy greens, you're probably totally fine. The real risk comes if you're drinking tons of caffeine and not eating enough calcium-rich foods. But even then, the effect on your bones is pretty minor. Now here's something important. Most of the studies about caffeine and bone health were done on adults, not kids or teens. So, while there's no solid evidence that caffeine stunts growth, doctors still recommend that kids and teenagers don't go overboard with coffee, energy drinks, soda. Why? Well, caffeine can mess with your sleep, and sleep is absolutely crucial for growing bodies. If you're not getting enough rest, that could actually slow down your growth, not the caffeine itself, but the lack of sleep it causes. And let's be real, caffeine can have other side effects too, like making you jittery, raising your heart rate, giving you headaches. So if you're a kid or a teen, it's probably a good idea to keep your caffeine intake on the low side. So let's bust the myth. Caffeine itself doesn't stunt your growth. If you're eating well and getting enough sleep, an occasional cup of coffee or tea probably isn't going to hurt you. But if you're chugging energy drinks and skipping meals, that's a whole different story. Bottom line, enjoy your coffee in moderation, don't forget your veggies, and make sure you're getting enough sleep. That's the real recipe for healthy growth. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button for more myth-busting science.